live nearly as much as I used to. All right, we are live on YouTube and Tick to the Talk. So let me know what your questions are on fantasy. I can help you out. I can come up with some opinion of some sort or do something. Let's see. I knew I would do that. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your questions are on fantasy. AJ Brown is here. AJ, yo, what's up, my man? How are you doing? You got fantasy questions? We're talking fantasy from now until the end of the year. This week, I'm going to try to go live every single day, just like I used to. I'm doing well. Looks like you're doing well. Can't wait. Honestly, looking forward to Thursday because as someone who lives in St. Louis, the Cardinals aren't much to watch lately. So not a lot of exciting stuff happening either way. Sideline fans, moderator. He's going to ask me all baseball questions now. You gotta stick to some football here, Nathaniel.
I'm drafting right now.
You're drafting right now?
Yeah.
All right. Who you think you're gonna get? Hello? Hello? Oh, you're drafting.
Josh.
You what?
Ashton Genty.
Oh, you got Ashton Genty. Okay, good job. Is this your is this your family? Is this your family draft? What is going on? Okay. Never mind. I took Bijan. Okay, well, yeah, Bijan's great. I took AJ Brown in the 1-1. Is that good? AJ Brown. Holy cow, you mean Bijan? Yeah. All right, who's got fantasy questions, guys? Who wants to make a trade? Who's gotten offered a trade? You know, if you want me to look at your team, I can kind of tell you, and you let me know how many people are in your league. What round are you in, Nathaniel? 16-man league. 8. Oh, wow. Okay, 16-man league. You have May. Not bad for a 16-man league. Kamara, Hampton. Okay, got to hope on the rookie. Lamb, not bad. Ridley, hope that he has a little bit better season. Warren, you're talking about the tight end from Indy, right? Because we got to deal with two Warrens we're going to hear a lot. Warren, the running back from Pittsburgh. Warren, the tight end from the Colts. And then Golden. You're relying a little bit on rookies, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if they don't pan out. And the one thing to remember, and I was saying this yesterday when I was on, was the one thing kind of bad about wide receivers is it's going to take them 2 to 3 weeks, probably in most cases, or possibly more, to sort of work out all the details of, you know, playing in the NFL. Sort of the way if you look at BTJ did, Lad McConkey, you know, they weren't as putting up good points on a regular basis the first few weeks of the season last year as they were towards the end. All right. 10-man, Dak. Okay. He doesn't have a balanced offense. I'm worried about that. Bucky's fine. Jett is fine. London, you got to hope that he has the season we all think he can. Connor's a good running back, not a great running back. Marvin Harrison was 885 yards receiving last year, and he was very inconsistent. You better hope that he does a little bit better. I don't think in a 10-team league you have a great team. And I know you don't want to hear that, Boozy Prods, but Dak, not a great quarterback. Bucky's a strong one. Jettis is a strong one. London has to play better than he did last year. Connor is good. Most people have Connor, not bad. Marvin is inconsistent. Njoku. Njoku's not bad. Bateman, the wide receivers for Baltimore are not solid. Golden is a good pickup. Pacheco, he laid a bunch of eggs at the end of last season. I think Kupp should be pretty good as long as him and Darnold do well. And Josh Downs, we'll have to see.
Takes still on the board.
Who's that?
I think I'm going to take Stephon Diggs.
There you go. That's a good pick, I think. If he's healthy, he's going to be good. Josh Downs, not a great wide receiver. Hopefully he'll play better for you. But in a 10-team league, you're probably looking at middle of the road there. It'll be a push to get to the playoffs with Dak as your quarterback. If he can have a good season, that's going to help you. Bucky, Jett is fine. London, if he can improve. But there's a lot of ifs in your lineup. All right, Eric, should I start Terry McLaurin or Devontae Smith? Well, let's look it up. Let's go Smith and Terry. Terry McLaurin plays the Giants. The experts say 85%. I would tend to agree. He's the number one. Devontae's the number two, so that's why I would do that as well. McLaurin, who do I start, Judy or Sutton? I think Cincinnati will still have a below average defense. Yeah, I think they will too. See what the experts say, but experts say Cortland Sutton. They play Tennessee, Cincinnati, Jerry Judy, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Well, what do you think of Tennessee's defense? What do you think of Cincinnati's defense? Cortland Sutton is more of a proven player based on last year. So I like Judy, I think, but I don't know how much of the offense he's going to be part of. Njoku might take away some, and who knows who else they might pass to. I think the safe pick is Sutton. If you want to roll the dice a little bit, I would go with Judy. But I would tend to agree with the experts a little bit on this one. I don't always agree with them. I would say I'm about 50-50 with them. But I would say Cortland Sutton because we know kind of what to expect. With Judy, it's a different quarterback. You have a new running back or a different running back. Well, you had Jerome Ford last year, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, 12-man, Herbert, Genty, Kamara, A.J. Brown, Moore, Bowers, Pickens, Pacheco. Herbert is not in a 12-man league. I guess he's not bad. I would say Herbert's probably better suited for a 14-team league. Genty's got to be Genty, what we expect him to be. Running backs have I believe, an easier transformation from college to the NFL. So maybe Genty can, run the heck out of the ball the first week or two rather than waiting 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 weeks like some wide receivers do. And definitely quarterbacks. Kamara will be fine. He'll put up his numbers. A.J. Brown will be fine. Put up his numbers. DJ Moore, we hope that Rome doesn't take away more targets from DJ Moore. We'll have to see. It seemed like, at least at the beginning of the season, that Caleb liked to throw to Adunze. I can never say it right. And Bowers obviously is good. Pickens, we don't know specifically what his role is, but we know he should put up decent numbers. Although last year, even as the number one, he didn't put up big, gigantic numbers. And Pacheco, if you listen to me at all, you know that I'm not a huge fan of Pacheco. He really laid an egg the last couple games last year. Let me jump off to YouTube. I send you $100 if you smoke a shard on stream. Okay. Well, that was a total waste of my time. Put user in timeout. Okay, you're great, dude. You're funny as heck. Can I get up on the panel? Yes, AJ Brown. Let me get you. Let me see. Everybody wants up on the panel, don't they? Well, where's the view? What is going on here? Okay. Sutton for sure. Yeah, I would start Judy. Yeah, I don't know. I would go Sutton because you know what to expect. Okay, A.J. Brown. Okay, thoughts on my recent trade. I traded Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson. Oh, God, I hate when the chat does that. Garrett Wilson and Ferguson for Amon-Ra Rice. Well, Rice is suspended. And Rice is the centerpiece of the Kansas City offense outside of Mahomes, okay? He's the most important offensive piece outside of Mahomes.
So, I pick Purdy as my backup quarterback or not yet?
Oh, that's not bad. Well,
I think I should work on my bench first.
Yeah, work on your bench first. Because backup quarterback, you're not going to use that much. I'd say it's not a bad trade. Devontae Smith's the number 2, didn't have big numbers. Garrett Wilson may or may not be good. You're getting Amon-Ra. So, yeah, I think that's a good trade. And if Rice can get back to where he was after the suspension, he'll be fine. 10-man starters. Allen, great. Brown, good. Davante Adams, good, solid. Wow, we are really going through the numbers here. The chat on my end is going crazy. Let me go back to this. Adams, Bijan great. Pollard should be better. Spears is out, so he'll get all the carries. Kittle good. Travis Hunter, not bad. We'll have to see. I've heard that he's maybe not like the best rookie wide receiver. That two-way thing is a big thing. Benches Debo, fine. Pitts, he's kind of the Pitts. Murray, Diggs is not bad. I guess Murray's fine. Chubb or Keenan Allen? I would go Chubb because he's starting as the running back in Houston over Mixon because Mixon's hurt. Purdy, Bucky, Kyron. Purdy, Bucky, Kyron. 10-man, 2 flex. Okay. CD, Terry, Engram. Engram's kind of a weak spot. Purdy's your starting quarterback's a little weak. DJ Moore. I think we all think that he'll be really good, so we'll have to see that. Aaron Jones is fine. Is he a starter, though? I don't know. He may lose his job after week 3 or 4, so I'd worry about that. How's Kyron and RJ Harvey? Well, RJ Harvey is a rookie. We're going to have to see how he makes the transition. Kyron, I think, should be well. My son, who follows a lot of fantasy like I do, doesn't think that Kyron's going to have that great of a season, but I think he will. So Odunze will be incredible this year. I tend to agree with that. Golden or Flowers week 1? Well, I think rookies have a hard transition when they're wide receivers and quarterbacks. And for that reason, Flowers, at least, he doesn't put up big points, but he might put up 10 to 12 points. Golden might get 6. So I'll see what the experts say. Flowers and Golden. Let's go. Zay Flowers and Golden. Yeah, they're saying Zay Flowers too, 89 to 11. So I would tend to agree with him on that. I took Bucky over Derrick Henry. I think Bucky is a hot name right now. I think Derrick Henry's going to have – what makes me believe that Derrick Henry isn't going to put up the season he did last year? You know, it's just 1 year. It's not like it's 2 years later, like he had an injury, he sat out, blah, 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 blah. Plus, the guy is a physical specimen, and he has a special chef that cooks him food that he only eats from that chef. So you're kind of hoping that Bucky doesn't get a 2-headed monster with Rachaad White and that the Buccaneers have the season that they had last year. You know that Derrick Henry is going to be he's on Baltimore, and they're going to have the season like they had last year. So it'll just keep. The safe bet would have been Derrick Henry. You're looking for a little bit more upside from Bucky, and you got to hope that, their offense is clicking like it was last year and Baker doesn't get hurt. If Baker gets hurt, Bucky doesn't have the value. I mean, you could say that, I guess, about Lamar, but I don't know. I have a hard time not picking Derrick Henry this year. I really do. All Chiefs running backs are not good. Yes, you are 100% correct on that. Kareem Hunt and Pacheco are not worth really picking up, although I think I have 1 or 2 of them on my deeper leagues. Guy trading me, Marvis Harrison Jr., Waddle, Jalen Warren, and Stevenson, Ramondre Stevenson for Rashee Rice, RJ Harvey, and Josh Downs. So you're getting MHJ, Waddle. MHJ was inconsistent last year. He's another hot name. Everybody thinks he's going to have a great season. He had 885 yards receiving last year, not 1,000. I think he might have played 15 or even 16 games. I think he was out at least 1. That's not great numbers. Remember, in the 17-game season, all you need is 59 yards a game to get to 1,000 yards. That's all you need for rushing or receiving. 1,000 yards in a season, it's 59 per game if you play all 17 games. Waddle, I mean, you still have Tyreek. Jalen Warren might be a thing. Ramondre Stevenson, I've heard that he might be a little bit better because who else are they going to have run the ball? Rashee Rice, not much. RJ Harvey has an upside, a very good upside. Josh Downs, he was middle of the road last year. You're going to almost force him to do something that he didn't do last year, which is, play better. So anyway, we got a lot of questions coming up. I'm going to try to stay a little, please don't spam because it just kills the chat, guys. And if you want to jump the line, send me 2 Dolphins. I think it's
Hey, I'll mute them.
Yeah, okay.
If they keep spamming.
Okay, good. I think it's 20 cents. I'm not asking for $1. So did I say Chubb or Allen? I would go Chubb. I mean, I think everybody's asked that question. Or are you a different person? We've said Chubb. Tet or Pearsall? I would probably go with Tet. I don't really love that offense with San Francisco right now. Yes, Pearsall is the number one because everybody else is injured, but I would go with Tet because they've cleared the deck for him in so many ways. So you wouldn't accept the trade? No, I wouldn't. Hey, not sure what 2 wide receivers to start and who to flex. I have Ladd, Egbuka, Diggs, Pickens, and Pearsall. I would definitely start Ladd because he did have, a very good season last year for a rookie, and the second half was really good, so he should have momentum. Diggs could be a safe choice because while he was injured, if he's healthy, he should do pretty well in that system. Pickens, I wouldn't do Pearsall. I would do Ladd, maybe Diggs, and you could maybe go Pickens. Egbuka, I think, is going to have a good season, and he could have like a Ladd McConkey kind of season, or far be it for me to believe that he might have a BTJ season. But I don't think the first couple of weeks for a rookie wide receiver, I don't think they always get it going until like week 3 or 4, until they get to the speed of the game, running their routes, dealing with, more physicality, bigger, faster people across the field from them, so to speak, because in college, you don't have some of the secondary is not as fast as they are in the NFL. I mean, the NFL has some of the best athletes in the world, bar none. So on a conservative side, I would go Ladd and probably Diggs if he's healthy. You could maybe swap out Diggs for Pickens. If you want to gamble, go Egbuka. I just don't see San Francisco's offense being that great. Worthy or Egbuka week 1, I guess you got to go with Worthy because you don't know what Egbuka is going to do. Rate my 14-man team. Bo Nix, fine. Bucky, good. James Cook, a lot of touchdowns last year and only like 1,000 yards rushing. So you better hope that he scores a lot of touchdowns this year. CD, good. DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore's name is coming up a lot lately, guys. I think a lot of people like him. Let's hope that he carries out what you think he'll do for you. Let's hope he gets 1,000 yards. Waddle, I don't love Waddle because Tyreek's still in front of him. Mark Andrews, solid B minus kind of tight end. He's a little long in the tooth. I think he's probably going to split more time with Likely, and Eagles D's very solid. Although people are, giving me other teams that are better defenses, but I get it. So I think you should push for the playoffs. I don't know that Bo Nix has to play out of his mind, put up big numbers. CD has to have a season he had 2 years ago. DJ Moore has to give you 1,000 yards. Bucky has to be very consistent and have no two-headed monster in Tampa. Waddle would have to play out of his mind, and Mark Andrews would have to play like it's 4 years ago. I have Jettis, Ladd, Jerry, and JSN. What should my next move be? I don't know what you need. Jettis, I would start. Ladd, Jerry, Judy. I mean, you could have Jettis, JSN, and Ladd as your starters in one flex. You could possibly put in Jerry Judy if you think Cincinnati's defense over maybe Ladd. I think JSN is the clear number 1, but they have Cooper Kupp. We don't know how that tandem will play together, and they have a new quarterback. So there's a lot of questions. Jettis will be fine. Ladd should be fine. But JSN, Judy have some question marks because they have new quarterbacks. They have, everything's kind of new. But JSN's probably the safer bet than Jerry Judy. Only because Cleveland's not a very good team. I have Jettis. Oh, okay. 12-man. Did we already do this one?
Who should I get? Mooney, Shaheed?
Okay, keep going.
Or
you mean Rashid Shaheed?
Leggett?
I would go Rashid Shaheed. He was pretty solid before everything. Ricky gave Rose. How much?
Right.
Somebody sent a bear. I don't know how much a bear is worth. Two Dolphins get you to the head of the line, though, guys. All right, I'm jumping around again. Thank you for rating. Hey, Joe Flacco was here. Rate my 10-man. Josh Allen, great. Genty, you got to hope that Genty does what we think he's going to do. Irving, fine. I don't know if he's an A+ running back or an A. He might be an A- B+, but if he's better than he was last year, he'll be an A, solid A. Jamar Chase, wow, you got a great team. McMillan moves on the depth charts. All right, so this guy goes first. Jacob Erickson, I think. Wait a minute. Who is this guy? This is Cashables. Okay, I wish you guys had names because there's so many people that have that gray circle. Okay, so he moves to the front of the line. He sent 2 Dolphins. I get a whopping 11 cents from that, by the way. Where's Cashables? Cashables, write your question again, dude. I'm No Name, remember me? Oh, I remember No Name. Okay, you're No Name. Okay, you sent the 2 Dolphins. What's your question? Okay, hey, 10-man, full PPR. I got the number 1 pick. Do I go with Bijan or Jamar? Oh, you're gonna probably blame me for this. I think, okay, here's the thing. I think the offense for the Bengals is going to come out of the gate, meaning game 1, doing very well. If you want that momentum, I think you go Jamar, because I think Burrow, he's played in the preseason, unlike last year when he did horrible for the first 4 or 6 weeks. They were 0-4 at least. So I think he's a safe bet. With Bijan, he's not playing on an offense that's so good. I mean, there's some question marks there. I mean, Penix, it's going to take time for Penix. Guys, remember, not every young quarterback, first or second year quarterback, is Jaden Daniels. That just doesn't happen. If Penix is, 3/4 as good as Joe Burrow probably is going to be this season, that'll be good for him. So the safest bet to me would actually be Chase here. Wait, you said, it's a full PPR. So I would go Chase. Yeah. I was just, for some reason, I feared that it was a no PPR. I have Jamar Chase and Nico Collins as wide receivers. You're doing great. The one thing about it is, and I know I'm like the guy that always naysays everybody, but I hate it. Jamar Chase is fine. No problem. As you know, I think he's going to have a great season as long as he stays healthy. That's always my caveat. Nico Collins has to return and play this season like he did before his injury last year. And there's no reason that I think he won't. I'm sure he's fully recovered. But as long as he does that, you're going to be golden, really. 12-man, Kyler, Achane, Chase Brown, BTJ, Egbuka, obviously being a rookie. It might take him a few weeks to get his legs about him in the NFL. K9, little long in the tooth. I think Charbonnet might clip him or take his job by week 4 or 5. So you got that going. They're starting right tackle. Atlanta has no right tackle. Okay, somebody's saying that over on YouTube. Okay. Let's see here.
Who should I get as my backup quarterback?
Who's available? Yeah. Goff, because Goff is
Stafford.
Oh, well, I'd go Stafford, dude. I'd go Stafford. I think Stafford's going to have a good season. Okay, Jamar. Okay, 12-man, Kyler Achane.
All right, thank you.
Chase Brown, BTJ, Egbuka, K9 might lose his job. Pickens, we don't know exactly what his role is going to be. We think it'll be fine, but you never know. Ridley. Okay, now Bill Cross, Keenan, Josh Downs. You kind of drop off with Ridley, Josh Downs, Keenan Allen. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who Bill Cross. You mean Bill's defense? I think Kyler's okay. He's not a quarterback. Achane is fine. He's not an A. Chase Brown is a solid, maybe B+ running back. BTJ should hopefully build upon his season last year. Egbuka by week 4 or 5 should be good. K9 might have, if he can start the season good, you'll be fine. Pickens, I want to see how many targets he gets in week 1. I want to see how they're going to use him. That's the most important thing to me with him. Zachary Krosky is who he's talking about. Bill Krosky is his name. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, when you guys are pulling names and I'm not that familiar with, I'm not really sold on whether or not they're going to be a real difference maker on your team. I just got to tell you that, you might know the team a little bit better than me because that's your favorite team, or you might like that player, but that's about all. Is Jerome Ford worth picking up? Well, if you need a running back, he's worth picking up. We taking Chuba or Egbuka in the flex? Well, Chuba's going to split time, although I heard that he's the number one. But he has Rico Dowdle. Egbuka, everyone's saying is going to be really good, but it's probably going to take him 3 to 4 weeks to start putting up good numbers. So if you're okay and patient, you'll be fine. Start Tyreek or Xavier Worthy. Well, Xavier Worthy, I mean, with Rashee Rice suspended, Xavier Worthy should be the centerpiece of that offense. So, yeah, hey, Nigel, thank you very much. Would you do a team review? Yeah, Brian, I would do a team review. You got to send me your team. Dude does not know ball. Yes, S, you are right. I do not know ball. Thank you very much. Thanks for dropping by for right now. Okay, Lando, don't spam, but here we go. Rate 12 man. Daniels, fine. DJ Moore again. Everybody thinks Moore is Ted McMillan. He's a rookie. Might take him a few weeks. Gibbs, fine. Achan's in the B radius. Debo, I don't know that Debo's going to have a much better season than he did last year. Pearsall, that offense in San Francisco, not that great. Bass and Rice on bench. Ronnie Bass. Rashee Rice is obviously suspended. Daniels, fine. Moore, Tet. You better hope that Tet has at least a BTJ season. Gibbs, you really only have Daniels and Gibbs. Everybody else is sort of unknown. Your team, you'll be lucky to make the playoffs with that team. You better watch the first week or two and see who's really good and pick up some free agents because your team's not making the playoffs otherwise. Unless Daniels has a Josh Allen season and Gibbs runs like Saquon, which he could do, but I mean, Debo, I don't think he's going to do much. Achan, he does okay. Pearsall, right now he's the number one, but if Ayuk and Jennings comes back, he drops back down to 3. Rice, he's got to come back from his suspension. So, you could swap out Rice for Pearsall once Rice comes back. So it's not that bad, but yeah, I'm just not seeing it. Kyler, Cook, Bijan, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Kelsey, Kyler's a stretch, Seth. Cook, a lot of touchdowns, only 1,000 yards rushing. So you better hope that he scores a lot. I have Achan and he has CMAC. Should I trade Brian Robinson for his Ollie? Should I trade Brian Robinson for his Ollie? Should I trade Brian Robinson? Well, so you're giving him Brian Robinson. So you're giving him, so he has CMC and you're giving him the backup for CMC. Why would you make his team better? Because then if CMC gets injured, Robinson's going to get all the points. All right, back to Seth. Kyler, Cook, Bijan. Kyler, middle of the road, B. Cook scores a lot of touchdowns. You better hope that he scores touchdowns. Bijan, good. AJ Brown, good. Mike Evans, a little long in the tooth. You better hope that he has a very solid year. Kelsey, down last year. I don't think he's got much in the tank. Aaron Jones may lose his job by midseason. Ricky Pearsall's the number one right now, but will he stay the number one when Ayuk and what's-his-face Jennings come back? So let me know on that. Okay, rate 12, man. Is this the same guy? Gives, okay, I already did that. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. If you want to jump to the head of the line, send me 2 Dolphins. Handcuff trade, I have Achan and Ali is the backup. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to, wait, handcuff trade, I have Achan and Ali is the backup. Oh, Ali's your backup. Brian Robinson with CMC in front of him isn't going to get any playing time, though. So I don't know that I would make that trade. The only way I'd want Brian Robinson is if I had CMC for insurance. All right, rate my 10-man team, says your dream landscape. Mahomes, he's fine. He's a B plus quarterback. I mean, who's he got to throw to? Xavier Worthy right now and an old Travis Kelce, maybe Noah what's-his-face? JSN's fine. Hopefully JSN will have the season that makes him an elite wide receiver this year, or at least close to it. McLaurin, I think, should repeat. He's had, 5 years of 1,000 yards. Tyreek, that offense in Miami stinks. I do not like that offense in Miami at all. So and hopefully I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then that's great. You have Tyreek, but I just don't think Tyreek's going to be the Tyreek of what 2 or 3 years ago. McCaffrey's got to be healthy. If McCaffrey's not healthy, you are screwed. Jacobs is great, very consistent running back, good choice there. Andrews, a good tight end, good name, but he doesn't hold. I think he's a little old now. Brian, yes, do it. I've done 120 BB drafts this year. Listen to me for any questions. I'm taking over the questions in this chat. Yeah, dude, you're not taking over the questions. And to tell him to get a backup for somebody else is ridiculous. All right. Chase Brown or Bucky Irving for the season. Chase Brown or Bucky Irving. Henderson or Hampton this year. Marion Hampton, Travion Henderson. I'd go Travion Henderson. Trade Higgins for Ladd. Why? I mean, I guess if you think, how does that make your team better? By like 50 fantasy points, maybe? If you trade Higgins and you get Ladd, I mean, maybe Ladd gets 1,200 yards, 200 more than last year. Maybe Higgins gets over 1,000. Like what I'm saying is, how does it make you better? It makes you better by what? Maybe 10%. Maybe save Higgins, bundle him with somebody else, and get like Jefferson or Amon-Ra, or get well, Nico Collins, a few question marks, but you see where I'm going here. You're just basically giving yourself for someone who's in the range of Higgins, so it doesn't make you leaps and bounds higher. Rate my 10-man league roster: Herbert, Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Judy, BTJ, Kittle, Flex, Alvin Kamara. Okay. Herbert, I don't love as a quarterback. He doesn't put up big numbers. Gibbs, great. Derrick Henry, I think he's going to have a great season. Judy's very solid, probably B+. BTJ, B+. Kittle, B+. Flex, Alvin Kamara. I mean, great. My biggest question, Jonathan, is your quarterback, Herbert. I don't know if you win the league with Herbert as your quarterback. Obviously, you spent time on getting running backs, tight end. You spent some early picks. You might want to think about packaging up like an Alvin Kamara and a backup quarterback, or Herbert for somebody a little bit better. You might want to think about that. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson. Those are my top 4. To win the league, you're going to need a little bit more than Herbert, unless he has a season like he's never had before. Unless that's the season like he's never had. I got to your question, dude. Handcuff trade. How many questions are you going to ask, Brian, if you're there on YouTube? I have a ton of questions over here. You've had at least 2 questions. I didn't get to your second question. I'm sorry. I have, people on TikTok that I'm getting to. Fields, Tua, McCarthy, or Ward? I don't think Fields is the answer. I don't think Tua in that offense is very good. JJ McCarthy is a gamble. Cam Ward is definitely a gamble, because you got to figure he's a real rookie, unlike McCarthy. And it's going to take him a while. I'm thinking at least McCarthy is on a good team. He has good, talented offensive weapons around him. So that would make it work. Hey, what's up, LS? How are you? LS, thanks for the heart, buddy. Would you start with Bijan, Bowers, and Lamar from the 1.0? Would you start? Okay, I'm already not understanding. Would you start with Bijan, Bowers, and Lamar? I don't understand. Your first pick is Bijan, Bowers, and Lamar. I mean, that's good. You have one of the top tight ends. You have maybe the top running back, and you have what I consider the best quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, that's good. Now, if you're saying who to pick, is it a PPR league? Is it a non-PPR league? If it's a PPR league, you look at Jamar Chase. If it's a non-PPR league or a half PPR league, you might want to go with Bijan. Starting 12-man, 1 quarterback, 2 Daniels, Chase Brown, Travion Henderson, JJ Tet. So you got 2 rookies. So you got to hope that you have 2 rookies. Ridley. I keep hearing the name Ridley. We'll have to see on that. Ferguson's your tight end. He's solid, hopefully. Knock on wood. Diggs should rebound, and Egbuka, maybe not in the first 3 or 4 weeks, but by week 5 or 6, he should be pretty good. Terry or Mike Evans. I would go Terry, guys. Well, I would go Terry. I think he's more consistent. Mike Evans was up and down. If you look, Mike Evans had a good season. Don't get me wrong. But when it came to him and Godwin last year, one of them would have a good week. The other one would not do so well, and then vice versa. So that's why I would go with Terry, because you know that Daniels wants to pass to him. Let's see here. I don't know. All right, we're losing people on YouTube, but that's nothing new. Hampton or Igbuka at flex? I would go Hampton, because I think it's going to take Igbuka a few weeks to get Diggs or Tyler Warren. I would probably go Diggs. Go Niners! All right, we got a fan here. Trade Puka, Kittle, and Swift for McBride, Pickens, and JT. Puka, Kittle. So you're trading a wide receiver, a tight end, and a running back for a wide receiver, a tight end, and a running back. How does that make your team better, FTC? You got to think, when you make a trade, get a better player. Or if you have really bad wide receivers, trade like a running back for two decent wide receivers. But I don't know how this makes your team better, because, okay, Puka's, I think, going to have a good season. I think he's going to have a better season than Pickens. Kittle may not be as good as McBride, but he's probably within that range. I mean, or Kittle could be a little bit better, number one. And then Swift for JT. People say JT's better, but really you're taking Puka, who's like let's just say a 9, Kittle, who's a 9, for Swift, who's a 7. That's 25. You have McBride, who let's just say is an 8. Pickens, let's say, is an 8. That's 16. And you're taking JT, who's like probably a 9. So you're trading same range players for same range players. It doesn't make you better. Who at 6? I don't know who you have, Sozi. Who you take at 6? I don't have someone I take at 6. I take the best player available at 6 overall. Okay. Who's available? I don't know. I mean, sometimes people pick up stupid players. Like somebody was telling me in the first round, somebody picked up, I can't even remember the player's name, but I was shocked. It was like Pollard or something. No, they are my first 3 picks. Oh yeah, you're doing good then. Your first 3 picks, you're doing great. How's this running back stack in 8-man? 8-man, you should do pretty well, dude. Henry and Gibbs, and one of my flexes, Montgomery. Yeah, that's pretty good. It'll be interesting to see how they play Montgomery this year. If Gibbs is the clear number 1. Is Evan Ingram good to start this week, or Loveland? Again, for the week 1, I tend to go with a veteran, only because we don't know what Loveland's 100% going to do. So I would go Evan Ingram and see how he does. And if Loveland has a great game, here's how I would couch that. The conservative pick is Evan Ingram. If you want something that might have a real high ceiling, go with Loveland, but you also got to know that he might get like 2 points or 1 point or no points. We are really behind. If you want to jump the line, send me 2 Dolphins. Is LS around? Did he have a question, actually? I never even checked. Okay. We have a lot of questions. Olave or Metcalf? I would go Metcalf. I think he trained with Rodgers. I think he's going to have a decent season. Start 2 at flex. You guys are going to give me 18 names. Henderson, again, rookies. I have a hard time saying start a rookie in the first week. Like, we think they're going to be good, but when's the light going to go off and they're going to be great? DJ Moore, Pearsall, Devontae Smith. I would definitely go DJ Moore. Devontae Smith is the number 2. Pearsall is the number 1, but he's never been the number 1 before, and I don't know how much I love that offense. So let me just see. Henderson, Devontae Smith, and Pearsall. Let me just look this up. Henderson. Let's see what the experts say. TreVeyon Henderson, Pearsall. I'm going to spell this wrong. Is it P? No. Is it P? Pearsall. It's isn't it P-E-R? Oh, crap. It would be great if I knew how to spell his name. Oh, it's P-E-A, isn't it? Yeah. Pearsall, Henderson, and who was the other person? God, this is good. DJ Moore. I would go DJ Moore and Devontae Smith. Okay. All right. The experts say Travion Henderson against Las Vegas. That makes sense. I'd go Travion Henderson then as your second. Chase Brown, Bijan, Evans, McConkey, Ferguson, Connor, and Caleb Williams. 12 man. Okay. I like Chase Brown. I think he's a B plus. Bijan is obviously an A plus. Evans should have another good year. Hopefully he holds up. McConkey, hopefully he improves and has momentum from last year. Ferguson, very solid tight end. Maybe not a top 5, but solid. Connor, solid, not an A or A plus. And Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is your big risk there, Ed, because he's got to have a good season. If Caleb Williams doesn't have a good season and you don't have a good backup, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Bijan's great. Hopefully McConkey will be good. Connor should put up solid numbers. Hopefully Evans can do well. But if Caleb Williams lays an egg and has a season like Mahomes did where he puts up 12 and 16 every week, you may not even make the playoffs, dude. Rate my 10, JD5 fine, Henry good, Jacobs I love because he's very consistent. Garrett Wilson, little question mark. Can Justin Fields pass well? He runs the ball a lot. Is that going to make a lot of sense? Is that going to happen? So we'll have to see on that. Where are we at here? I just totally lost. Oh, Travis Hunter. I heard he's not a great wide receiver like Tet and all these other names we keep talking about. We'll have to see. Pacheco, not a good running back. Steelers D's fine. I don't like Pacheco at all. His numbers when he came back last year were just in the toilet. Travis Hunter, will have to see how he plays at wide receiver, obviously. Kelsey's kind of done, Mikey. JD5, Henry, Jacobs, JSN should be solid. Garrett Wilson, hopefully Fields can get him, but that's a big question mark. Kelsey might be kind of done. He might be middle of the pack. And we'll have to see how Travis Hunter comes out, but I'm not a big fan of Pacheco right now. Okay, Ethan Carrick, rate my 12 man, $500 league. Daniels fine, Chase Brown B plus, Travion Henderson. It might take him a week or two. Running backs, have to get up to speed. It might not take him any time. Running backs can transition, I think, better than wide receivers and definitely better than most quarterbacks. JJ, great. Ted, again, see how the transition is. Wide receivers, I believe, take a little bit longer time to catch up. If you look at Gibbs, let's say, compared to Brian Thomas Jr., Gibbs, was he a rookie last year? I want to say, no, he wasn't. But usually running backs don't take up as much time. Ridley, I'm not a huge fan of. Ferguson's fine. We're getting a lot of Fergusons tonight. Diggs and Ibuka. You might want to start Diggs this week and see how Ibuka plays, because I think it'll take him, a couple of weeks to get up to speed. All right. LS Neighbors and Jaden D for CD and Knicks. Neighbors and Jaden. Well, I think CD's going to have a better season than Neighbors. The Giants quarterback situation, I mean, are they going to put in Jackson Dart? Is Jackson Dart really going to be the savior? Is Russell Wilson going to play beyond, week 4? Knicks is strong. He's not as strong as Jaden, but he put up good numbers. It's so stupid. I guess my YouTube went out. Whatever. All right. Will Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford be better than Herbert? Yes, I think Stafford will be, as long as he can stay healthy. I don't know that Goff's better than Herbert. They're kind of even. People love Herbert. I don't think outside of Laddie has a lot of weapons. They have Keenan Allen again, but he's a little old. Rate my 10. Did we already do this one? We already did this one. That's Mikey. You guys are spamming. Puka and Jordan Mason for Tyreek and Garrett Wilson. If my wide receivers and flexes are Puka, Marv, Pickens, and Debo. Okay, Tyler and I don't know. Okay, Puka and Jordan Mason for Tyreek and Garrett Wilson. I think Puka is going to have a better season than Tyreek and Garrett Wilson. I think he's like a A. I think Tyreek has dropped down to a B. I think Garrett Wilson will be lucky to be anything over a B. Jordan Mason, the speculation is he'll take Aaron Jones's starting role at some point. I'm not sure that he will, but that's the speculation. Your flexes are Puka. Your flex is Puka. How deep is your league? You have like 6 teams. Puka. Marv is very inconsistent. Pickens and Debo. Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of Puka. I would keep Puka on my team because Garrett Wilson may not have a great season and Tyreek may not have a great season. Did you see my message? I have not seen your message yet, Missy. I don't check my DMs while I'm on this. Thoughts on my 12-man team? Herbert, again, don't love Herbert as a quarterback. But I guess in a 12-team league, in a 14-team league, he makes a lot of sense. 12-team might be a stretch. Kamara, fine. Walker's a little old. The speculation is Walker won't have his job by week 4 or 5. Hawkinson did not come back very well from the injury last year, so I don't know how that will, you got to hope that he comes back. Collins will be fine. London hopefully will have the season you want, and Evans will be strong. 12-team league. How's my quarterback? Purdy, running back, Henderson, Hampton, wide receiver, London, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, flex, Walker. Okay, you're relying on 2 rookies, and that's fine. I think they should do well. Will they both do well? Do 2 running backs in a season do really well? Bucky did well, and and stuff. So yeah, quite possibly they could. London better have a better season. Purdy, I don't think San Francisco's offense, Spectre Ryer. I don't think Purdy is strong as a quarterback, even in a 12-team league. I think Henderson, Hampton, you're rolling the dice a little bit, hoping that they'll both be really good. That probably could happen. Amon-Ra, great. London has to be better than he was last year, and Walker may lose his job by like week 4 or 5 to Charbonnet. Gibbs and Worthy for BTJ and Hall. I wouldn't do that because I don't think Hall's going to have, because Justin Fields runs a lot. So he's going to probably take away carries from Hall. Gibbs should put up good numbers. Worthy, at least until Rashee Rice comes back, is basically the wide receiver for Kansas City. Yeah, I wouldn't make that deal right now. Okay, Hecky or whatever your name is. All right, Dylan, do you see my comments? Because I don't know if my shadow banned or what. It's the one trading Josh Allen. Okay. You're just saying the same thing, Dylan. Send me the ask again, Dylan. If you want to jump to the head of the line, send me 2 Dolphins. I have a whopping 13 cents so far, so I'm not making a lot of money. Trade JT. Well, do you need somebody else? You could trade JT. Who are you going to get and what do you need? Should I draft Chase Brown or Trey McBride second round? Second round? Oh. I guess. Oh, my God. Chase Brown is probably a B plus running back. He if you put it out over an entire season, he's really good. Trey McBride, what is he, 3rd or 4th wide receiver? I mean, there's debate up on all of this, but you figure Bowers, Kittle, McBride is one. Laporta. I'm skipping somebody. Would you fade Garrett Wilson? You mean trade maybe? If you think you can get something for him, I mean, I think straight up for Garrett Wilson, what are you going to get? I mean, what player are you going to get? Achane maybe? I mean, who are you going to get for Garrett Wilson right now? I don't think that offense with the Jets is so good. So should I trade Walker? Yeah, but you have to trade him, Spectre, to somebody who doesn't realize that he might lose his job by week 4 or 5. Trade Burrow, Jamar Chase, and JSN for Allen, CD, and Nico. Yeah, I would do that. I mean, I think Jamar Chase It's going to put more points than CD and Nico, but I think Allen will be solid. Ja'Marr Chase, JSN. JSN may not be as good as CD Nico this year. So it's kind of a fair trade. I mean, the thing about it is, how does it make you better? It makes you better. There's two things here. When you have Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase, if the Bengals get shut out or if they have a really bad game where they only score 3 points, that means Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase didn't score a lot of points. So it keeps you from, it's like insurance against a bad game. But then on the flip side, when Burrow throws to Ja'Marr Chase, unlike when it was Manning and Marvin Harrison Sr., it was 12 points every time they threw the ball, but or throw and catch a touchdown. It's 10 at least, I think, in most leagues. So you're losing that 10 points every time. There's that. Plus, Ja'Marr Chase is, in a PPR league is a really hot commodity. JSN, I think, should be good, but the jury's still out on that. Allen should be good. He doesn't have the weapons Burrow does. He doesn't have Higgins and Ja'Marr Chase. CD should be good, but they don't have a balanced offense. You're getting CD. I wouldn't do the trade because I think Burrow's going to have a great season. I think Ja'Marr Chase is going to continue. I think he's really happy. He's got T. Higgins. It's the same offense, essentially, or offensive weapons as they had last year. So what makes you think that they can't continue the momentum moving forward? Trevian Henderson, Pearsall, Egbuka. I don't know what that's. Okay. Do I pick one? I would probably go Trevian Henderson because he's a running back. Hey, any thoughts on going Derrick Henry, Drake London, 8th overall PPR? I would pick Derrick Henry over Drake London. I think Derrick Henry's going to have another fantastic season. Drake London still has some question marks, guys. He did. Yes, he's hot. DJ Moore is hot. Everybody's talking. Henderson is hot, but there's a lot of question marks behind these guys, and that's the thing that scares me. Let's see right here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. No. Yeah, YouTube. Hit that follow button on TikTok. I also have memberships on TikTok for $2.99, and I have it on YouTube, but I never get enough people on YouTube. Pearsall, Pollard, or Pickens week 1. I go Pollard because he's the clear number 1 running back, and I always if it's a running back versus a wide receiver, I usually go, and they're about, sort of middle of the road rated. I always think the running back has an easier time getting points. Chase, Bijan, or Saquon, first overall pick, 1 PPR. I would go Bijan. Oh, you're saying, okay, sorry. You're saying Ja'Marr Chase. I would go Ja'Marr Chase. I was thinking Chase Brown. I apologize, NRC. McMillan, Hampton, or where did that go? Or Pearsall. Are you saying Tet McMillan or the McMillan from the Buccaneers last year? If you're going Tet McMillan, Omarion Hampton, Pearsall. Pearsall is unknown. Hampton's unknown. I would maybe go Tet McMillan. McMillan, Hampton, or Pearsall. Hold on. Let me. We have Pearsall. Tet. Okay. McMillan, Hampton. Let me get Hampton. Let's see what the experts say. The experts are saying Omarion Hampton. And it's probably because he's a running back. Running backs have an easier time transitioning from college to the NFL in general. It's not a rule. All of them do, but in general. Okay, we got a lot. We're backed up. If you want to jump the line, send me to Dolphins. Otherwise, I'll get to it if and when I can get to it. I'm crazy for thinking J.K. Dobbins will do better than Henderson. Yes, you are crazy. Am I crazy? Yes, Luca, you are crazy for that. Breece Hall and Calvin Ridley for Omarion Hampton and Tyler Warren. Oh, you're going. Well, here's the thing. If you're getting Omarion and Tyler, you're rolling the dice. You're getting rookies. Calvin Ridley, I don't think is going to be any great shakes. Breece Hall could have a good season. He also, because Justin Fields is his quarterback, could lose carries because Fields runs a lot. So I would maybe go with the rookies. I don't have any problem with that. Jefferson and Walker for Bucky and CMC. Jefferson and Walker. Okay, hold on. For Bucky and CMC. Okay, so really, okay, hold on. My chat's jumping all over the place. Okay, Jefferson, what? The number 2 wide receiver. Walker, he may lose his job by week 5, okay, against Charbonnet. Bucky, top 10 running back, maybe top 5, depending upon who you talk to, but at least a top 10. Jefferson's probably a top 2, and CMC has to return as CMC. If you're getting rid of Jefferson and Walker and you're getting Bucky and CMC, I'm just throwing this out there. You're trading a wide receiver and a running back for 2 running backs. It sounds like you need running backs. So it's not a bad idea. The only problem that I have is, what if CMC isn't CMC from 2 years ago? And he's me running the ball. Okay. So basically you've given up Walker and Jefferson for Bucky. That's the one thing that would scare me about that trade. If you want to trade Jefferson for Bucky, fine. Then you have Walker, and he's just as much as a question mark as CMC is. But if you like CMC and you think he's going to be healthy all year, I would make this trade. I'm just saying that it seems like you need running backs, and you're willing to throw out Jefferson. So what other F or T, or what are you? F? What other wide receivers do you have? That you're able to give away Jefferson for 2 running backs. It's just the Chargers don't have a pass offense and defense expect a run. Oh God, you're talking about something that we talked about. Yet it has an edge to me. Okay, where are we at here, Aaron? Pearsall or Zay Flowers? Is this the same guy? Wait a second. I am all over him. No, we're talking about Amor. I'm going Tet over Hampton. Okay. Remember though, wide receivers take a couple weeks. Look at week by week of BTJ. Look at week by week of Ladd McConkey. First couple weeks, they were dog doo-doo. Okay. At the end of the season, they were people you could slot in and get teen points. And what I mean is 13 or higher. They were like a bank at the end of the season last year. First couple weeks, though, not so much. All right. I'm FD the laughing. Yes. Okay. F. Okay. Jefferson and Walker for Bucky. Okay. What did he say? Yes. What was my question? I don't even remember. I'm FD the laughing face. I don't even know what. Adams and Harrison. Oh, yeah. See, I think Marvin Harrison had 885 yards receiving last year, and he was like this. And he was a lot of times down here, in points. He wasn't up here. He was down here. At the end of the season, he got a little bit better, but he wasn't like Ladd. He wasn't like BTJ. I don't like banking a team on Harrison if I have Jefferson. I wouldn't get rid of Jefferson. I would maybe go Walker and Harrison to get the running back that you want. I can't even remember the name. Bucky. I would maybe try that. Rate 10 man. Burrow, fine. He's a top 3 in my mind this year. CD, good. Hopefully he'll have a good season. Dallas's offense is not balanced. That's going to hurt them. Drake, let's hope that he has the season we all want him to have. He didn't have a great season last year. DJ Moore, everybody's hot and bothered on DJ Moore right now, so fine. I don't know that Rome Odunze will not be the number 1 by the end of the year. I mean, Caleb last year at the beginning really liked him a lot. All right, Dylan sent 2 Dolphins. I got to get to him in a second, but let's see. Bucky Irving, fine. Travion Henderson should be fine. Ingram is a middle of the road tight end. Your flex is T-Mac, Arizona defense. I think Arizona defense is fine. T-Mac. Trey McBride? Is that who you're saying? Your flex is Trey McBride? Is that who T-Mac is? I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't get all the acronyms. I'm thinking of one player and I can't get them out of my head and I miss the other player. Okay, Chiz has T-Mac. Okay, he's got Dak, Chase, JSN, Kyron Williams, Pollard, then T-Mac. I guess he means Trey. I don't love having a tight end at flex because tight ends, their range is like 7 to 12. That's a good week for a tight end. Trey McBride is a little bit better tight end. Maybe some weeks he gets up to 16. Maybe he has a 20. Maybe he goes down to a 10. He doesn't have the ceiling that a wide receiver or a running back has in the flex position. So that's going to hurt your team. If it's a close battle from week to week, you're going to be out. you're not going to win having a tight end at flex. I just don't think that's the move. That's a personal opinion. You guys can say that I don't know anything about fantasy. I've only been playing it for 20 years. I only have multiple championships. I help people win their league all the time when they're subscribing to me for $2.99 a month. I will answer your DMs anytime you send them to me. I mean, not right away if it's the middle of the night, but I'll do it. Okay, Dylan. Where's Dylan? Okay. My chat, of course, is going all over the place. Where's Dylan? I'm assuming he had a question because he sent. Okay, I sent you a dolphin. Do I get priority for my comment? Yes. Send it again, Dylan. Don't be so polite. I'm looking for it right now. Come on, Dylan. I'll wait. Did it? We got a lot of people on. All right. While I'm waiting for Dylan to write whatever he's going to write, our Rye says Saquon and Tyreek for Gibbs and Ladd. Yeah, I would do that. I don't think Tyreek's going to have a good season. I think Gibbs and Saquon will have a good season. I think Ladd should have a good season. Come on, Dylan. You still there, buddy? All right. Dalton Jordan. That's actually a good name. Dalton Jordan. It's like a football name, right? Okay. Kamara, Kyron, Hampton, Kenneth, Cook, pick 2. Okay, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You give me, oh, no. 5 names. Kyron, Hampton. No Kenneth. I would go, if it was me, I might go Kamara and Hampton. I can see where you would go Kyron rather than Kamara, but I think Hampton, I don't mind taking a risk with Hampton. He's a little bit more of a risk, but I think Kenneth is cooked. I think Cook has to score touchdowns to get points, so that hurts him. And so it's really between Kamara, Kyron, and Hampton to me. If you like to take a risk, take Hampton and Kyron or Kamara. If you don't like to take the risk, take Kyron and Kamara. All right, where's Dylan? See here. I sent Josh Allen for Burrow and ETN. I sent Josh Allen for Burrow, and ETN's not going to put up any points. I need running back depth, and I also have Jamar Chase. Why would you trade for ETN? He was like non-existent last year. Yeah, Dylan. Not. You got to hope that ETN, like 2-3 years ago, he had a good season. You got to hope that he does that again. Hockenson and Evans for Ladd and Tyler Warren. I'd say that's a good deal. I think Ladd's going to probably have about 1,200 yards receiving. Tyler Warren is going to be strong, much stronger than Hockenson, I believe. Hockenson really did not have a good season last year, Brian. So I think that hurts him big time. All right, 10-man Tucker Doyle. Remember, if you want to jump the line on TikTok, send me 2 dolphins. I made a whopping 17 cents tonight, everybody. So I'm going to be able to retire in about a week. Rate my 8-man. Oh, 8-man. This better be good, Tanner. I don't even like where it's going. Daniels, Achane, Kyron, Jefferson, Higgins, Kittle. Tanner. You're probably a great guy. You're probably like top of your class. You're probably, going to be a lawyer, a doctor, something awesome like that. But this team is not good in an 8-man, 18 league. Daniels is fine. Daniels is what I say, top 4, top 5. Achane, that Miami offense stinks. Kyron is not even an A running back. Jefferson is an A+. He's number 2 wide receiver. Higgins is number 2 on his team. Okay. Kittle is, depending upon who you talk to, 1, 2, or 3. Devontae Smith is number 2 on his team. 18 league, I would think that you would have Jefferson, Daniels, and like 1 or 2 other big guys. Like you would have Daniels, Jefferson, Derrick Henry, at least. But you don't have that. I don't know that Achane's going to have, a great season. I don't know that Kyron gets more than about 1,200 yards rushing. Yeah, you're going to have to really watch the first couple of weeks and maybe pick up some free agents that are out there and available. I'm serious. To win, you might make the playoffs with this, depending upon other teams, but you really only have 2 names that jump off the plate, Daniels and Jefferson. Devontae Smith, like I said, is a number 2. Higgins is number 2 on their teams. They're both number 2 on their teams. They're not even number 1s on their team. You didn't get A.J. Brown. You didn't get Jamar Chase. Okay. And the offense Tanner, look, I don't want to make it seem like I'm yelling at you because I'm not. Or I don't want to anyway, but yeah, maybe not a good draft for you. I'm sorry about that, buddy. Rate my 12-man. Baker, fine. Hopefully you'll have the same season. Again, Achane, I don't love Miami's offense. Everybody's asked. Henderson's fine. A little risk because he's a rookie. Will he be good week 1? Will he start being good week 3 or 4? We don't know. Lamb should be fine, but Dallas doesn't have a balanced offense. They have no running game. DK, I believe, will have a good season, and really because of him and Rodgers. McBride should be fine. Everybody likes Ridley. I keep seeing Ridley. Who's the other one? Ridley and Achane tonight, and those are big names. Boswell will be fine. Packers defense will be great. So you did good with Packers defense. Lamb hopefully will have a good season. Achane, I don't know about. Henderson's a question only because he's a rookie. I think that he'll be good, but will he be good week 1? Will it take him a couple weeks to get there? Lamb should have 1,000 yards, but we'll have to see. Sideline fans moderator wants something. What do you want, buddy? Let's see. Allen, Connor, Genty, Diggs, Hunter, Kittle, Flowers, Texans D. Texans D's actually better than I think most people think. Jake, Elliott with Debo, Coleman, Keon Coleman benched. Yeah, we'll have to see how Coleman does. Buffalo has a weird receiving core. Debo should be fine, but I don't know that he's going to be much better than he was last year with San Francisco because they're still going to go to Terry McLaurin. Diggs has to recover. Allen was a good pick. Connor is, I don't know, maybe a B+ running back. Genty, you got to hope that he does what we think he does. Kittle, he's 1, 2, or 3, depending on who you talk to. Flowers, I don't love. Zay Flowers. I don't really love the wide receivers with Baltimore. Maybe you guys think I'm wrong, but that's just what I think. How do we feel about Zay Flowers? Oh, I just think the wide receivers for Baltimore are, B-, C+ wide receivers. They don't have an A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Zay Flowers, Bateman, Flowers, Bateman, but it's not Brown, Smith. It's not Higgins, Chase. It's middle of the road versus a little less middle of the road. So I just don't love their wide receivers. I just don't. I'm sorry about that. Okay, what else? Remember, if you want to jump the line, send me a bunch of 2 Dolphins. What else, sideline fans? You got anything else? All right, CJ, Mike Evans or Higgins? Oh, that's a great question because Evans is the number 1. Higgins is the number 2 on their teams. I think Higgins is going to have a good season. I think Mike Evans is a little older. He should be solid, but he did miss games last year. And if you remember last season, to begin the season with Godwin, it was up and down. He'd have one good week, then one bad week, one good week. I think Higgins should have a good season. He was injured as well last year. So, right, 12-man BRPW. 12-man PPR starting lineup. Purdy. I guess Purdy's fine in a 12-man. In a 14-team league, Purdy would be fine. I don't love Purdy as my starting quarterback in a 12-man. I think sometimes you guys pick your quarterbacks a little too late. I don't know. Who's Purdy going to throw to in week 1? Pearsall? I mean, Pearsall, everybody loves Pearsall. They love, everyone has that sympathy because he got shot. But he can take a bullet. I don't know if he can catch a pass, Genty, he's got to be what we thought he was going to be 2 months ago. He's moved down a lot in a lot of drafts. JT should be good. JSN should be good. There's some what ifs there. Can Daniel Jones run an offense effectively? I don't think so. Sam Darnold has to get to know JSN and run that offense well. I think he can because he also has Cooper Kupp, but we'll see. Pickens' role, a little unknown. He's kind of a head case. Fine. Kittle, good. You have Pearsall, so you have Purdy. And if you start them, you get 10 points when they score a touchdown. But then if they get shut out, let's say they play the Eagles, and they get shut out, then it's a bad game. Pollard is starting for Spears and should have, a good start to the season the first couple of weeks. Kwame and Houston defense. Houston defense is quietly a really strong defense. Kwame, I think should be good. But we're talking about a lot of question marks with him. Do I draft Garrett or T. Higgins 3rd round? I would draft T. Higgins. I just think that Garrett, and I don't know that Justin Fields is the answer with the Jets. So I really fear that whole aspect to it. Do I draft? Okay, same question. My 12-man is Alan Gibbs, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones might lose his job to Jordan Mason week 4 or 5. Higgins fine. Drake London, you got to make sure that he plays better than he did last year. Andrews is a good tight end, but he's not an A or A minus tight end. He's probably a B minus tight end. Calvin Ridley, everybody loves Calvin Ridley. We'll have to see how Calvin Ridley does. If he does like he did last year, not so great. Okay, 12-man, Hurts, Gibbs, Jones, Sr. Okay. Brian Thomas Jr., Evans, Kelsey. Okay, 12-man, Hurts, not bad. What is he, like 5 or 6 maybe? Gibbs, good acquisition. Jones might lose his job. Jordan Mason, Brian Thomas Jr. should hopefully improve upon his 1,200 yards. Evans should be strong as long as he stays healthy. I don't know that he gets you much more than about 1,000 yards, especially if Igbukah becomes the player everybody's talking about. Kelsey's kind of middle of the road now. Waddle, number 2 behind Tyreek. I like RJ Harvey on your bench. I think he probably takes maybe Aaron Jones's spot here, or he takes something on the flex. Okay, let's see what other questions you guys got. Who's the best pick with 7 pick in 3rd round, 12-man PPR? Liam, I don't know. Who's available? Like who would you pick 7th pick in 3rd round? So that's, and it's a 12 team. So it's 36 and 6. It's 42. I mean, is Ladd McConkey still around? Is Connor around? Do you have to pick up some rookies? Maybe Henderson? Somebody like that is what you have to go with. I don't do a lot of that, where you can mock draft all that stuff. You might have someone in your league who doesn't know football and is picking, CMC and all these other people like at number 3 and stuff. So 10-man, Dak, Jonathan Taylor. Here's the thing, 10-man league and you have Dak starting. Are you a Dallas fan? I wouldn't have Dak starting. They don't have a balanced defense. And that's the thing that bothers me. They don't have a balanced defense. So they don't have a run game. So how's that going to open up the pass game? Jonathan Taylor should be good, but Daniel Jones, I don't believe can run an offense well. Chase Brown is solid. CD should be good, but it goes back to Dak. So you have Dak and CD. If they get pounded by Philadelphia and shut out like they only scored 2 field goals, what are you going to do? Like because their offense is so suspect, I would not have both of them. I would try to trade one of them for somebody on another team. I would try to trade CD and maybe get, I don't know, Amon-Ra or some wide receiver or running back, Chase Brown and Jonathan. Kamara's good. Tyler Warren should be good. But again, he's a rookie. It might take him, he's a tight end. It might take him 8 weeks to really figure out the offense. Jason should be good. He's got a new quarterback. How's he going to fit into the new quarterback? Diggs, returning from an injury, should be good, but we'll have to see. Rice, suspended, not going to play. K9 could lose his job to Charbonnet by week 5 or 6. And Cortland Sutton, I think, is probably, I think Cortland Sutton's more solid than Diggs. I think Rice is the key outside of Patrick Mahomes to the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Okay, let's see here. 10-man Mahomes. Yeah, dude. Henry, you're not going to be happy with Mahomes if he puts up numbers like last year. You're not going to win the league with Mahomes as your starter in a 10-team league. I was in multiple 10-team leagues. I had him on 2 of them. I think I dropped him in 1, and he became my backup in the other. Jefferson, fine. London should play good, and that should help you. Cook has to score touchdowns to get points. He had 1,000 in like 9 yards or something, and 16 touchdowns. So he's feast or famine when it comes to touchdowns. You're not going to get a lot of points if he doesn't score a touchdown. Hampton, rookie, have to see how he goes. Should be good, but let's be cautious. Hubbard is the number 1, but he's got Rico Dowdle in his shadow. Hubbard, you have to remember one clear thing about Hubbard. Even last year when he was the number 1 or finally became the number 1, he was up and down. He would have a 20-point game, a 15-point game, and then like a 6-point game. So just know that going in. Njoku is, a solid, strong B+, A- kind of tight end. As I said, wait, we've already talked this one. Njoku, Vikings, and Sloop. Okay, you got to let me know who Sloop is. I don't know all the nicknames, and sometimes I think of one player and I can't get him out of my head. Okay, we have 58 new messages. Guys, please don't spam. Genty and Higgins for Chuba and Collins. Well, Genty's a rookie. You don't know really if he's going to be great or if he's just going to be okay. Chuba will probably be okay, could be good to great, but will Rico Dottle take any of his touches away? Higgins should probably get 1,000 yards, and he ended the season, I think, strongly. Collins is coming back from an injury, so there's a little unknown. I'm going to say to you, is this Cooper who's asking this? You have a running back and a wide receiver for a running back and a wide receiver. How does this make you better? Okay. Because if you're saying, in my estimation, Genty has a question mark because he's a rookie. Is he going to be good? And how long will it take for him to be good? Will it take a season? Will it take a week? Will it take 0 weeks? Will he be good from week 1? Question mark. Will Chuba be more consistent? Will he, keep Rico Dottle off the field and get most of the carries? Question mark. Higgins, clearly the number 2, should have a good season. Collins had the injury. Can he come back? Of all the players, Higgins to me is the strongest player because he has the least question marks, has the same quarterback, finished the season strong. He has the least question marks, and that's why I don't know if you're getting him or trading him away, but I would keep the Higgins tandem. Somebody says, who's Javonte? Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I got Garrett Wilson and Nico Collins in 12-man. Thoughts? In a 12-man, I guess Nico and Garrett aren't bad. Nico's got to come back from that injury, and Wilson or Justin Fields has to be able to throw the ball for Garrett Wilson to have a good season. The problem with Justin Fields is he doesn't throw that well, and he runs a lot. So he's going to take carries away from Breece Hall as well. Okay, CJ says, trade BTJ for Mike Evans and David Montgomery. So you're trading away Brian Thomas Jr. You get Mike Evans. If Mike Evans stays healthy, and assuming Brian Thomas Jr. is healthy, they could have similar seasons. Brian Thomas Jr., 1,200 yards last year. I don't know off the top of my head what Mike Evans did, but he's a solid player. And you get David Montgomery. The problem in my estimation is, what is David Montgomery's carries going to be? Because he's the number 2 for sure now. That's my scare. But I think it's a good trade because I think Mike Evans could very well put up similar numbers to Brian Thomas Jr. And then, you're getting David Montgomery. As long as you're not in a keeper league, I think it's fine. In a keeper league, I'd want to keep Brian Thomas Jr. around, but you're probably not in the keeper league. So yeah, I would do that trade. I don't have a problem with it. And you guys can call me crazy. You can say, I don't know ball. You can say any of that stuff. I just appreciate you guys watching, really. So, all right. Nick says, got Nico, Puka, K9, Chase Brown, and Sutton. Okay. As I've been saying, hopefully you've heard this, Nick. Nico's got to come back well from the injury he had last year. Puka should have a good season. K9 could lose his job to Charbonnet by week 4 or 5. Maybe he doesn't, but he could. And that's a huge question mark for me. Chase Brown, that offense is going to stay the same. I think he's going to have an even better year than he had last year. I really like Sutton, especially with the emergence of Mims last year. So I think he'll be fine with Sutton. I think he'll be fine with Puka and Chase Brown. My biggest question marks is Nico's health. Is he 100% healthy? Can he put up the numbers he put up at the first half of last year? And does K9 have production? Towards the end of last season, K9 did not have production. If you want to jump to the top of the line, send me 2 Dolphins. Otherwise, I'm just going to randomly got Charbonnet as a handcuff. Yeah, I think Charbonnet is good because Charbonnet could be the starter, before you know it. So I think that's a smart play, actually. Egbuka or Travian? Let's see. Hold on. Let me just look up Travian real quick. I would go Travian only because he's a running back. And running backs, in my estimation or in my experience, catch up to NFL quicker than the wide receivers do in general. That doesn't mean it's the same for everybody, but usually running backs can be good in week 1, where a wide receiver, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 weeks. Again, and I haven't said this in about an hour, but I'll say it again. Look at Ladd McConkey. Look at BTJ. Start last year. They ended strong. They finished really strong, good with points. First couple of weeks, they had to get to know the system. Okay, once Bucky Irving was in games, he was putting up some points, guys. When they were giving him a good number, he was putting up points. Nick has one Dolphin, but I'll let him jump the line, even though I know I said two. Got Charbonnet. Oh, okay. So that was your thing, Nick. All right, good. Do we have anything else on YouTube? No. All right. Isaac. I always want to say Isaac Bruce. I'm in St. Louis. So okay. Oh, wait, that's the trade. Would you trade Gibbs and Egbuka for Puka and Cook? Okay. No, I wouldn't do it because here's the problem with Cook. His numbers are reliant on touchdowns. Gibbs, not so much. But you get Puka. If you need to upgrade your wide receivers, I would make that because I think Puka's going to have a great season. I think Puka's going to have a better season than Egbuka, unless Puka gets hurt. And those names rhyme. I just realized that. Egbuka and Puka. But I would say Gibbs and Egbuka. Gibbs going to be strong. Egbuka, the question mark, how quickly can he get the transition to playing in the NFL? Puka, we know, is going to have a good season. He's Stafford's number one. Cook is reliant on touchdowns to get his points. He only had 1,009 yards rushing. As something else I haven't said in about an hour, to get 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing, and you play 17 games, let's just say it's only 59 yards a game. That's it. These guys are not necessarily what we used to consider elite when there was 14 games. 16 games, you're getting pretty close. All right, rate the squad. Mahomes, Bijan, Chase Brown, Drake, DK, and Kelsey. I think you have a pretty good team. Kelsey's probably your weak. Well, depends on how big your league is. Mahomes was a backup to me, and I had him in two different leagues, 10-team leagues, and I dropped Mahomes last year in one, and I kept him as a backup in the other. Kelsey was a huge disappointment. So I'm just telling you right now, you might want to look for a quarterback that's going to break out. You might want to look for someone who gets injured, and you can pick up a quarterback. Maybe get rid of your number 2 quarterback, keep Mahomes, and keep who is doing well. Bijan's good. Chase Brown, to me, is a B+ kind of running back. That offense should be very similar to last year. If he has 17 games of that, he should put up big points. I think Drake London should have a good season. I think DK should have a good season. So we'll go from there. Raymer, do you think CD, Kyren, and K-Knight are good picks for the first 3 rounds in a 12-man? No, I don't at all. First of all, I don't think Kyren is going to be – Kyren's not an elite – I don't know where you're picking. K-9 might lose his job by the 4th or 5th round, number 1. Number 2, Kyren is B+. Saquon. I even think Derrick Henry's still up there. People are going to say I don't know ball. They're going to say that I'm crazy. That's fine by me. I don't care. I just appreciate you guys watching. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a good year. I think Saquon's going to have a good year. I think Bijan's going to have a year. I think Bucky might not have the year Saquon had last year, but if Saquon and Bucky end the season with 1,700 or 1,600 yards, or one has 1,600 and one has 1,800, I think that very well could be the case. James Cook or Hampton week 1. I go James Cook because I go veteran over the rookie for week 1 because we just don't know what to expect. Okay, that's a conservative view. If you want to roll the dice and you like taking risks, go with Hampton. Rate the squad. Daniels fine. Genty's got to play where we want him to. Hampton got to play where a rookie needs to play. My God, you have a bunch of rookies. I'm assuming you mean Genty, Omarion Hampton, Tet McMillan. You have 3 rookies, dude. You like risk. St. Brown should be fine. Worthy's all they got in Kansas City to throw to. Kelsey, you must be a Kansas City fan, right? Because you have Worthy and Kelsey. Kelsey's middle of the road. I mean, I dropped him on, I think, every team I had him on last year. Diggs should be good. I believe he's healthy, so he should be good. Bates, kicker, fine. Texans defense is low-key, really solid, so you should be good. But Kelsey and Worthy, once Rashee Rice comes back, Worthy's importance goes down, and I think you might be able to upgrade from Kelsey after week 1 or 2, and you see what some rookies, what's available out there. I don't know that Kelsey's the answer, unless Kelsey and this engagement, not that I wanted to ever bring that up in this, but maybe he's gotten thin, he's strong, and he's ready to go, or something like that. I don't know, but all right, 10-man PPR, 9th, Daniels. Don't forget, everyone, to hit that follow button on TikTok, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I also have memberships on both. They're $2.99 a month, so please support the channel. I'll be live tomorrow night. I usually go live at 8 p.m. Central. I'm in St. Louis. but I've been going earlier the last couple nights just because I've had time and I have more energy earlier in the day than I do later in the day. If you want to jump the line, send 2 Dolphins. We're a little behind. Waddle or Golden week 1? Oh boy, that's a tough one. Let's see what the experts say. I would almost say Golden on this one. But as you guys know, I always say, oh, pick the veteran because we know what to expect. I don't love Miami. I don't love their offense, rather. What do we say? Waddle and who? Who was it? Oh, God. Waddle or Golden. Sorry about that, guys. When I get in front of the computer, I blank. Come on. Experts are saying Jalen Waddle 91 to 9%. So there you go. Rate the 12-man. Lamar, great. Bucky, A-, B+. Irving. Oh, Bucky Irving. Kenneth Walker, he could lose his job by week 4 or 5. The Charbonnet. Just be Jameer, that's awesome. Waddle, not so much. Kittle, great. DJ Moore, you might end up putting, I don't know. But you have Bucky Irving, Kenneth Walker, Jamar, Waddle. Oh, yeah, I don't know that Waddle. I mean, who else is on your bench? I don't know that you start Waddle. He's the number 2 on Miami. I don't really love their offense. Kittle, fine. DJ Moore, everyone's expecting him to do well. I still think Rome Odunze is Caleb's favorite to throw to because that's the way it was the beginning of last year. Maybe he'll have Loveland or Cole Kmet as his favorites this year because you look at that offense with Laporta that Ben Johnson's coming from. Maybe he'll go more tight end passes. Thoughts on Jakobi Meyers? Well, that's a good question because, okay, we have some YouTube. How high is Christian McCaffrey to you? I think he's a second rounder, but people are picking him in the first. I don't know why. Rate my team. 10-team PPR. Knicks, fine. Henry, good. Irving, good. Puka, great. McConkey, probably a B+. Laporta, right up there, number 5, like 5 or 6, right? Sutton, you got a good team. I don't know. 10-team league. Knicks is your only question mark. He's got to do better than he did last year. He wasn't good enough to win a championship quarterback-wise. You have to be, Lamar, Allen, Burrow numbers. Henry, Irving's got to be a little bit better. But I am checking on somebody. Thoughts? Okay, Jakobi Meyers. That's who it is. Because didn't he ask for a trade? Dependable. The rock steady Jakobi Meyers established. Okay, come on, give me news. I guess he's going to play. I mean, I guess he's going to be on the team. So my thought is, I think he should be good, but maybe he's burnt so many bridges that they're not going to use him as much. They're not going to target him as much as they probably should. That's the only thing I would fear about that. 16-man. Here we go, Noah. That's one heck of a competition. All right. 16-man. Who do I start in my flex? Javonte Williams, Golden, or Travis Hunter? Okay. I wouldn't start Javonte Williams. I know I say go with the vet. I would go with Golden because I think he's the clear number 1 in Green Bay. I know that I've been saying running backs, like I always side on the side of running backs. Javonte Williams is a running back. He was dog doo-doo for Denver last year, and they had a pretty good offensive line, okay? So I don't like Javonte Williams at all. Travis Hunter, I heard, is a good two-way player, but he might not be the best wide receiver. I think Golden is a better wide receiver, and I think he's clearly the number 1. And I think Jordan Love is going to be on a mission. I don't love Jordan Love. I don't love him. And I think sometimes his head, goes in other places when he's playing. But I will say that in this case, I would go with Golden. He would be, in my mind, he's the best bet. Williams was so bad last year. And that Love can pass the ball. The problem with Green Bay last year, and I said this 1,000 times last year, is that they passed to like 4 different people every game, so nobody really was their number 1, although Jaden Reed supposedly was, but no one got like 15 points, 13 points, 14 points, 12 points, 17 points, 20 points. It was like 1 week Dobbs would get 11, and 1 week Wicks or whatever would get 14, and another week Reed might get 16. They were all over the place. So he can pass the ball. It's just a question of, do they have synergy? Thoughts on Bo Nix and Baker Mayfield? Well, I think Baker statistically was better than Bo last year. For that reason, I side on the fact of Baker Mayfield. I think he's in a good position. He has Mike Evans back. They have that, not Ted McMillan, the other McMillan that ended the season. Godwin, I think, is kind of hurt still. He's not playing well, but they have good running backs with Bucky and even Rachaad White. So I would go with him. Bo Nix. You have Sutton and Mims. Mims only came on second half last year, essentially with the running back. What is it, RJ Harvey? So you got to go with a rookie. I think the offense is like a year more sophisticated in Tampa Bay than it is in Denver. I think this time next year, we'll be talking a lot more about Denver. I think they're on the road to being a Super Bowl team. And, Peyton is a really good coach. Let's be honest here. Okay, we are really getting behind. If you want to jump the line, send me 2 Dolphins. I made a whopping 26 cents tonight, so I will be retiring tomorrow. All right, don't forget, real quick, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that follow button on TikTok. We're on both. I do have memberships. They're $2.99 a month. What you get with a membership is you can DM me, at least on TikTok. I don't know how well I don't think you can DM me on YouTube, but you can send me a DM with questions about the stuff, and I'll get back to you. That's sort of the bonus with becoming a member. Would you trade Cook for my wide receiver is weak? Would you trade? I would trade Cook, but who are you going to get? Yeah, I would trade Cook, but who are you going to get? You're going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown, or are you going to get like, Xavier Worthy? I don't know if I would do it with Xavier Worthy, but Ridley or Harvey. We're going to go to the experts because it is not fair for me to pick because I am not sold on Calvin Ridley. Harvey. I would almost go Harvey. Yeah, the experts are picking Harvey over Ridley. And it could just be because Ridley's playing Denver and RJ Harvey's playing Tennessee. They're playing each other. So, all right, who would you trade? Oh, yeah. Okay, let me go back to this. Daniel Perez, thoughts on Brown's running back situation? Well, isn't it Jerome Ford? I mean, what is he? Maybe a B- at the highest right now? I mean, their offense is not. They have Jerry Jeudy, they have Njoku, they have Jerome Ford, they have Flacco. But I got to tell you, I know Flacco was really good with the Browns a couple of years ago when he played for them. But Flacco, those last couple of games, with the Colts last year, I watched like one of his last games that he started. It did not look good. I mean, he's been around a long time. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with Baltimore. He was, a really good quarterback. But as I like to say, I don't know how much gas he has in the tank to lead that team. So that's my one concern with the Browns. And then do they turn to Shedeur or the short guy whose name I always forget? They'll probably go to him or Shedeur because I think he's the number 2. So we'll have to see. Thoughts on CMC? Well, he's got to be healthy. And when he came back last year, I don't know that he was 100% healthy, so that could be a plus. But then it also begs the question, will he be healthy ever again? I mean, if you remember during the season when he was on IR or whatever they call it, he went to like Europe to get everything tested to see what they could do, which doesn't happen a lot, which to me meant like, this might be more serious than we thought. So my thoughts on CMC is I'm not sold that he's 100% healthy. I think you might get 80, 85% of CMC, which isn't bad, from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, which isn't bad, but I don't know that he comes back to the way he was 2 years ago. And remember last year, everybody picked him number 1 and he got injured and ruined a lot of teams. Pick 2 for week 1, Garrett Wilson's Pickens, Ladd, Egbuka. I go Ladd. And then I might go Pickens. The thing with Egbuka, and I've said this 18 million times, anybody who's been watching for a while knows, with the rookies and wide receivers specifically, it might take 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week for that player to get good. If you look at BTJ week to week, if you look at Ladd McConkey week to week from last year, both of them, they started out the season rough. I mean, Bo Nix started out the season rough, even at quarterback. And I would say wide receivers and quarterback have a hard time with the transition. Tight ends too. Running backs have a smoother transition to the NFL. So I would go Ladd and Pickens because I don't love Justin Fields as a quarterback, and he runs a lot. He doesn't throw very well. I would maybe give Egbuka maybe a week or two. Now, if you want to roll the dice, I would go Ladd and Egbuka. If you want to be a little conservative, I would go Pickens and Ladd. All right. How far behind am I? Cam Littlebean, free agent, RN is crazy. Cam Little. Pickens or Egbuka? I would go Pickens over Egbuka. Week 1. Let's see what the experts say, because that's back-to-back Pickens, Egbuka. George Pickens. Yeah. The experts picked Pickens 69 to 31% over Egbuka. So, yeah, I would agree. I don't always agree with the experts, but I agree with them there. The problem from a prediction standpoint with all of these rookies that we're talking about is we don't know how good they're going to play. We don't know how many weeks it's going to take them to get up to NFL speed, let's say, or transition to the NFL. You know, look at Bo Nix from the first month to the last month of the season. Look at BTJ first month to the last month. Look at Ladd first month to the last month. Bucky Irving, once he started getting regular carries, he was so much better. Okay, so there's a lot of that going on. T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley start 2. Everybody loves Ridley. I don't love Ridley. I would go Garrett Wilson and T. Higgins. I just don't know that Ridley is. I don't know that Ridley's the answer. Everybody's talking about Ridley today. Everybody's talking about DJ Moore. DJ Moore is more solid than Ridley, in my estimation. But, you know, is he going to be any good with Tennessee? I don't know. Can they get him the ball? Can they get him the ball well? Are they going to be able to throw the ball? You know, I mean, that's the big question that I have. Let's just see here. Tennessee. Oh. What is this? This is all from last year, huh? Depth chart. Here we go. Yeah. I just don't know that a rookie quarterback is. Look at Bryce Young last year. Well, that was his second year, too, right? I mean, the beginning of the season, he was awful. He couldn't get anybody the ball. Nobody was scoring points on that team. So I'm not sold on this Ridley thing. I don't know that he's going to get a lot of targets. I mean, Ward's going to get sacked. He's going to be chased around. They're going to bring all the pressure on the rookie quarterback. If you want to jump the line, 2 Dolphins. Seth Edwards asked 12-man, Purdy or Dak. I think either one is mediocre, even in a 12-man league. Achane, don't love Miami's offense. Kamara's good. Neighbors should be good. JSN should be good. Kelsey, getting a lot of Kelseys tonight. Egbuka, thoughts? Egbuka, I believe, should be a very good player. He should have 1,000 and at least 1,200 yards receiving this year. But when does his sort of career take off? Brian Thomas Jr., Ladd McConkey, the first couple of weeks were not that good. First couple of weeks of Egbuka, I don't expect him to do that well. Now, will he? If he does in week 1, then maybe start him in week 2 if you didn't start him in week 1. Kelsey, middle of the road tight end. All this stuff with Taylor, I don't think it makes him a better player. And his age is working against him as well. He was not very good last year. I had him on a few teams, and I really didn't play him. I dropped him. JSN, like I said, should be good. We hope that Neighbors is good, but their quarterback situation is bizarre. And if they put Jackson Dart in, which I don't think is going to happen, they're going to put Russell Wilson in because Russell Wilson's a veteran. They might even put Winston in before they put Dart in because he's a veteran. And if you look at Winston, he didn't do awful for the Browns last year. But if they put Dart in early, like for the season as a starter, like for the rest of the season, it's going to hurt Neighbors because they're going to stack the box and he's going to have tons of pressure. He's going to get sacked. He's going to run out of bounds, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Kabir asked start Debo. I don't know who else you have. I don't know that Debo's going to have a better season than he had last year. In preseason, they used him out of the backfield. I think they're going to use him kind of the same way they have him. If they didn't sign Scary Terry, I would say, hey, Debo's probably going to have a better season. But they signed Scary Terry, and I think that puts Debo back in the place that he was last time. Kyle Williams or Luther Burden? Let's see what the experts say. Oh, I spelled Burden wrong. That would be good. Kyle Williams. They're saying Luther Burden. Luther Burden over Kyle Williams, 94-6. I would probably say the same. I mean, if Diggs is healthy, I think May's going to pass to Williams. I think it's going to take both of them some time. But let's see. Chicago plays Minnesota, but Chicago's offensive line is a lot better than it was last year. So yeah, I would go Luther Burden. All right. Guarantee 10-man. Hurts, fine. He's what, 5 or 6. Brown, AJ Brown, fine. Hubbard was a little inconsistent, had really good games and some dogs. CD should be okay. Sutton is solid. DJ Moore, everybody loves right now, although I think Adunze is kind of the sleeper between the two. Harvey should be good, but is it going to take him a week or longer to get used to it? Kraft is a middle-of-the-road tight end. Golden, Myers, Addison, and Ollie. Hurts, Chase Brown, Hubbard, CD. You got to hope that CD puts up numbers like he did 2 years ago. Sutton's got to have a better year. Moore would have to play like Sutton did last year. Harvey would have to give you like a Bucky Irving season kind of. Kraft, you're almost going to have to get a new tight end. Otherwise, I don't even know that you make the playoffs with those guys. You have good players, but nobody's an A on there. Hurts is maybe a B plus, maybe an A minus. Brown B plus, Hubbard B minus, CD B plus, maybe an A minus. So maybe some people get an A minus. Sutton probably a B plus, Moore B minus. Harvey kind of unknown, but let's just say we give him a B. Kraft is maybe a C plus. Golden, Myers, Addison, Ollie. You have to just see how they do. Flowers or Golden for week 1? I guess I would go Flowers only because Golden's unknown. Let's see what the experts say. I do like Golden though. Don't get me wrong. I do like Golden a lot. Experts say Zay Flowers 88-13. I don't even know how that adds up to 100, but yeah, they're saying Zay Flowers. That may change. Like Matthew Golden by week 3 or 4, once he gets his legs underneath him, he should be very strong. Let me send my 10-person league roster. Okay, send your 10-person league roster. That's fine. I'm about to draft 1.02. Who should I pick up? Well, who's available? It's either Bijan or Jamar Chase would be who I would pick up. Unless you're not in a PPR league, then I would, maybe you pick up a running back. Maybe you pick up Saquon at 2. Besides Bijan. 12-man, Bo Nix, Mike Evans, Jettis. Good Lord. Pretty good. Bo Nix, probably a good pick for a 12-man. Mike Evans, fairly strong if he stays healthy. Jettis, good. Bauer's great. Kyron Williams, B plus. Breece Hall, I think he's going to lose carries because Justin Fields runs with the ball so much. Jacoby Myers, I think, should have a good season, but the unknown there is, will Geno Smith throw to him? Has he made some people mad? Boswell should be good. So in a 12 team, you should make the playoffs with Jettis, Bo Nix, but you need Brees Hall to be very solid. Bowers to have a similar season to last year. Kyron to be maybe a B plus running back. You'll make the playoffs. I don't know that you win it all though, because you don't have enough of elite. You have Jettis and Bowers, and tight end elite is not nearly as the same as wide receiver elite. Trade Chase Brown for CMC. Okay, you trade one running back to get a new running back. What you're doing is you're taking a chance with CMC that he's 100%. If CMC is 100%, it's a great trade. If he's not 100%, if he's 80%, he's probably about the same as Chase Brown. So if you make the trade beforehand, you're really rolling the dice. If you wait till after week 1, maybe you know. But then you got to figure if CMC is really good, he's not going to want to trade him. So maybe you make if you like to take a risk, make the trade. If you don't like the risk and you like sort of the known as opposed to the unknown, I would not make the trade. Pacheco or Pollard week 1? Pollard. Pacheco stinks. And Pollard is the clear number 1 there. He should get a lot of carries and good points. Pacheco put up horrible points. Kareem Hunt put up horrible points towards the end of the last season. I don't know what they're doing with their running backs, but they really don't have any good running backs in Kansas City. Thoughts on Brandon Codrington as my defensive player? I'm assuming you have to pick one. This is going to be interesting. Wait, let me go here. No, that's not where I wanted to go. Hold on. I can't spell. Who do we say? Brandon. Dude, you're not spelling either name right, and it's throwing me off. No player matches. With an I. Brandon Cooks. I know why. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I know why he's not showing up. Yeah, there he is. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's look him up. 17 games. Yards, interception, TDs, fumbles, defensive interceptions, 0. Tackles. Well, if you get points for tackles and interceptions, he didn't really have much. He had 8 solo tackles and 1 assisted tackle. That's not a lot. Okay. I would go for maybe a linebacker. I don't think he put up enough points last year. He had 1 fumble recovery, and then he had 2 fumbles, and he had 1 pass defended. He had combined 9 tackles. He did not have any numbers. You can look him up right there. Yeah, I don't know that he would be my pick. Worthy or JSN, then Hampton or Tracy? Well, I would say Worthy because you know what to expect from Mahomes. Okay, JSN and Darnold, you might not know what to expect. Hampton, he's a rookie. So there's a question mark. Is he going to be? I would go Tracy and Worthy. Some people, well, let's see what the experts say here. I'm spelling it wrong. Tyrone Tracy or Hampton. I think Omarion Hampton should be a good running back. The experts are saying Omarion Hampton. So I would go Omarion Hampton. I would tend to agree with that. I don't think Tracy's a great running back. And they're playing Washington. So But let's see. Let's see what the experts say. I would still go Worthy over JSN, but let's see what the experts say. Xavier Worthy over, isn't it JAX? Yeah. They're saying JSN over Worthy. The experts are. So if you want to go with them, that's fine. I would go Worthy over him, though. Anyway, how do you feel about my running backs? I have Bucky, Travian Henderson, Tyrone Tracy, Ramondre Stevenson. Is Hendy handcuffed in ETN? Is Henry handcuffed in ETN? I think Bucky will be good. Tracy's question mark. Ramondre Stevenson, I wasn't really that impressed with last year. We'll have to see how Travion plays. Tracy's a big question mark. Bucky should be good. ETN, he did nothing last year, so I don't even know why we're talking about him. Do you like DJ Moore or Ted McMillan week 1? I go DJ Moore because he's the veteran. Ted McMillan, we'll see. Hold on. I'm going to see. Ted or DJ? They're going Ted. The experts are saying Ted, I guess because they're playing Jacksonville on the matchup side. Ted probably. The only thing about Ted is he's completely unknown. At least with DJ Moore, we have, the last few games of last year, he actually put up some decent points. Okay, here again, the experts, who aren't me, say Ted. I would go with DJ Moore because I sort of know what to expect. I don't know if Ted's going to lay an egg. Is he going to be, is he going to get 3 points or is he going to get 30 points or 13 points? I mean, DJ Moore probably gives you at least 10 points, So the risk is Ted has a higher ceiling, but he also has a lower floor. Whoo, Keon Coleman or Caleb Johnson? Again, let's see. You guys are asking good questions right now. Caleb Johnson. Wait, what? Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. It's a K, that's right. I think Caleb is behind Warren at running back. Let me look this up. Depth charts. Oh my God. Running back. Jalen Warren. Yeah, Caleb might not even get many touches. So I wouldn't go with Caleb. I would go with Keon Coleman. I mean, Caleb Johnson might be in for 5 plays. You're going to kill me if he scores 2 touchdowns, but okay. All right, guys. I really do appreciate it. I think I'm going to take off for right now. I've been on for almost 2 hours. Okay, let's see. Who do you think I should start in the wide receiver 2 spot? DJ Moore or DK Metcalf? I'd go DK Metcalf. I think DK Metcalf and Rodgers, they practice together. I think they should have a good season together. I mean, I think DK should have a good season. And everybody loves DJ Moore, and he probably will do well. But I still think Rome Odunze gets a lot of the targets with Chicago. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be on tomorrow night. I might be on earlier, but I usually try to be on at least 8 o'clock Central. I'm on earlier today, but I might be on earlier tomorrow. It just kind of depends. So don't forget to hit that follow button, subscribe button on YouTube, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching.